Thanks for reminding me. Was there a meeting tonight?
Put that one out.
For the last time, I'd like to call this regular meeting, for me, the regular meeting of the village board to order. We'd like to begin with our pledge to the flag. I'd like to ask one of our local businessmen who's with us this evening, came here years ago, has expanded a great deal across the United States, very successful, Ben Seidel, to come up and lead us to pledge the flag.
Oh, wow.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mayor Claire.
Here.
Trustee Zarate. Here. Trustee Lawler.
Here.
Trustee Basta. Here. Trustee Watts.
Here.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Here.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Here.
Approve the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda?
No additions or corrections,
Is there
Mr.
a
Mayor.
motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Lawler, second of Trustee Carbonzano. Any other comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Reports of officers. Just a couple of things. One, I was going to present the new mayor my gavel tonight, but it's missing, so. I know I haven't packed it because, quite honestly, in 34 years, I never actually used the gavel. And I hope that the residents, the fine residents of Bolingbrook, continue to offer the same respect to the new mayor, that you don't have to use a gavel. That's if you're a leader, you don't need a gavel, in my opinion. So you got to get your own. Whoever it is, you got to get your own. I've only came to this meeting twice in 33 years, 8 months, and 7 days without a tie on. The one night was after my open heart surgery, and the second is tonight. So I'm getting casual, moving into casual Saturday. I said pretty much everything on a couple of occasions, the board meeting Tuesday night, and to a lot of people yesterday. A very nice group of people came over yesterday buying Village Hall. But again, thank you for your support. I want to thank staff, village employees for doing the work they do. We are a very well-respected community, not just in Will County, but throughout the state of Illinois, and frankly, across this great country. And because of our sister city relationships throughout the world, people know the village of Bolingbrook. So again, thank you. One item of business. We just went through a refinancing of our bond indebtedness, which was a little over $300 million. We have reduced it now to $249 million, according to a schedule was put in place and approved by our bond council and our financial institutions that issues those bonds. And because we're a refi, the bond rating agencies across the country are looking at bond issues and bond indebtedness by a lot of communities because of pandemic. People's revenue streams have declined, people's ability to pay have declining, but they reviewed ours and they say we'll still maintain a AA rating because of our reserves, because of our well-managed finances and our controlled spending. Even though they know we're going to take a little bit of a hit because of pandemic, they know that we plan for it as best we can and we'll get through it as best we can and maintain that AA bond rating. So thank you to all the staff for helping us do that. Next, we have a motion to deal with the acting mayor to serve through April, because a lot of people have had questions about me being able to appoint my successor, so on and so forth. It's absolutely not true. The acting mayor has to come from the sitting 6 trustees. Some years ago, the General Assembly passed a statute that requires, in case there's a vacancy, the acting trustee or mayor has to come from the 6 remaining, the 6 trustees. I'm not sure I agree with that legislation. I don't think it should be that narrow, but that's what it is. So tonight, they'll be electing a mayor from the existing 6 trustees. Anyway, I've asked our attorney, Bert Olson, to conduct this part of it, so I'm not even close to what's transpiring. He will conduct the rest of this meeting. We are very fortunate tonight to have with us a friend for many years, a well-respected attorney in the Will County, Illinois, been a judge for 20 years, and has served as chief judge the last 8 years. And that's quite an honor to be elected chief judge out of about 60. So he's been elected chief judge for 8 years by his 60 colleagues, and that's quite an honor. And I would give him credit. Several of the chief judges I've known over the years, good friends, good guys, good judges, Jerry Kinney, Steve White, and so on. They all lobbied hard to get a new courthouse in Will County, because the courthouse in Will County is a bit of an embarrassment. It's not terribly safe in terms of the requirements we have today for judicial courtrooms and so on and so forth. But the guy that brought home the new courthouse is with us tonight, and that's our Chief Judge, Rick Stain says. So thank you for getting that done. And with that, I'm going to step over there next to the Chief Judge and ask our attorney, Bert Olson, to conduct the next part of this meeting.
Thank you, Mayor Claret. There is simply one motion on the agenda tonight, and that's the motion to appoint an acting mayor. I would turn it over to the Deputy Mayor Lawler to either make a motion or ask for a motion.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Olson. I make a motion to appoint Mary Alexander Basta as acting mayor.
I'll second that. Mr. Deputy Mayor, since there's a motion in the second, you can open it up for discussion or other nominations.
Yeah, I think tonight's extremely important for all of us. It's going to be the post-Roger era in about 24 hours, and I think going into the new era, it's important for us to take the time to choose the right person for this position. I understand that Mary's been nominated, and congratulations on the nomination. I just want to make sure that no other trustee is interested in that position at this point in time.
No.
If you are, speak up so we can handle this a little bit differently maybe. And if not, my personal feeling, and I know it's just my opinion, is 2017 we elected a full-time mayor. Roger was the winner of that. And we've agreed to go to a part-time mayor thing come April 2021. So I really feel that the remainder of this term should be filled by a full-time mayor. And I don't know, Mary, are you willing to be that full-time mayor?
I am, Trustee Jaskowitz, yes.
Very good. So you satisfied the majority of what I was worried about. Because I was willing to run for full-time mayor, but I'm a realist. And I know that I don't have the votes to do that kind of stuff up here. But I think it's important that Mary had the freedom, the independence, and I know she's creative enough to lead us into a new era. And it'll be a different era, it'll be a different style of leadership. And I think that's important for you as residents to know that you're still going to be in good hands. Okay? I think any one of the trustees up here would have made a good choice. I really do. Each of them have their own skill sets, their own talents, their own abilities to lead people in different ways and different methods. But I will go along and shut up.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, so I too would like to express the sentiment of, wow, we've come to an end of an era, and as mentioned previously, I wish Mayor Claire a long and healthy and fun time with his granddaughter in retirement. First off, I'll say that I'll support and work with during this interim period any one that is selected by this board. At this time, Mary has been nominated. Congratulations, Mary, on that nomination. I guess in full transparency and disclosure, you asked the question, Bob, was anyone interested? And so I would say, yes, I would be interested, but again, I would support the will of this board with the hopes of doing best for this community. Attorney Olson, I
Yes,
want to
sir.
thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
But especially for providing us with this packet of information that talks about, it's a memorandum and talks about the powers and duties of a mayor pro tem or acting mayor in this case, interim mayor as we're calling it. I just had a question. It talks about two general options for an acting mayor once appointed. One that will remain a trustee while serving as acting mayor, or one that resigns as trustee, and obviously that seat would be filled. The question is, which option are we voting on here?
The option is the choice of whoever the acting mayor is, because if the acting mayor is a sitting trustee, it's their option to resign. It's their office to resign or their office to hold. If they choose to resign, then they act as the mayor and can veto. If they choose to keep their trustee seat, then they vote just like a regular trustee, and that trustee seat would remain open until the next election in April. So it's up to the individual as to what they want to do.
Okay, so that's just clarity, and I appreciate that for myself as well as the residents that might have been wondering that. One follow-up question, what happens in the event of a tie?
In the event of a tie, then the motion would fail, and we'd have to seek another nomination.
Well, not even with regard to just this vote, but just in general during normal village business board meeting
Oh,
operations.
that's a good question, I see. So if there's a tie vote, any motion brought would fail, because you have to have a majority to pass a motion. So if there's a motion to declare a holiday and it ties 3-3, we wouldn't declare a holiday. Simple as that. So it makes you seek consensus more when there's one less.
Okay, I appreciate that
Yes, sir.
clarification. I mean, obviously, that puts us in a tough situation if it was to occur, but the hope is that we would reach consensus more times than not.
Yes, sir.
So that concludes my questions. Thank you.
I'll follow up with that and ask Mary, do you know what your intent is? Is it to stay as a trustee and a mayor, or is it to resign your position as trustee?
Is that a decision that has to be made today?
No, it doesn't have to be made today. First, you have to have an acting mayor, and then the acting mayor can decide what they want to do and tender his or her decision to the board. And then if the acting mayor were to resign, then he or she would then appoint a new trustee, subject to the advice and consent. If she or he did not resign, there would be a vacancy that would remain until the April election.
Well, if by chance you do resign, I have some good nominees.
Thank you very much.
I do as well. I like to work with you on that. Whoever gets it.
All right.
Point noted.
Whoever our mayor.
Thank you.
Mr. Deputy Mayor, if there's no other discussion, you can have the clerk call the roll. Since there's only one nomination, a aye vote would be to be in favor of the motion, and a nay vote would be against the motion.
Okay, Michael.
Okay, please call the roll.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Carpenzano.
Yes.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Basta.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Present.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Well, my last two votes have been no. So I will vote yes this time. Yay.
Much appreciated.
Congratulations, Acting Mayor. If we can have the Chief Judge swear the Acting Mayor in.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Mary Alexander Basta,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will uphold the Constitution
that I will uphold the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the municipal code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
the municipal code of the Village of Bolingbrook,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
my duties
my duties
as acting mayor of Bolingbrook
as acting mayor of Bolingbrook
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in a manner prescribed by law.
in a manner prescribed by law.
Congratulations, acting mayor.
Wow. Members of the village board, thank you for appointing me as your acting mayor. I am honored to be completing the unexpired term of Mayor Roger C. Clare and humbled to be chosen by the residents of Bolingbrook. Mayor Clare, will you join me? Pat? I'm going to have to read this because it took me a while to write this to you. Thank you for your 34 years of leadership and dedication to our village. You have served a lifetime. You had a vision of growth and development. And you did what was needed to build this village that we now call home. Sorry. The path was not easy, and the road was certainly not paved. But you were able to plow through and make things happen. You leave big shoes. I know you didn't want me to say that. Very big shoes for anyone to follow. But we know that you will be here to support us. From California, from Bolingbrook, from wherever you go, we know that you're just a phone call away. We are grateful for you, Pat, for allowing Bolingbrook the opportunity to have Roger serve. And if Lindsay's watching, thank you, Lindsay, and hello, Samantha. We're going to get Papa back. On the road? She's on the road? Thank you. Thank you, thank you for everything. We appreciate it. If I could just have a minute to have my family come up and join me. I think this is an important moment to acknowledge them. I'm joined here this evening by my husband Ahmed, who 20 years ago today said, "I do." Happy anniversary, honey. Happy anniversary. This party's just for you. Also with me this evening is my son, Peter and Benjamin. I could not be more proud of these two young men. My mother and my uncle, who are also Bolingbrook residents. Not able to join me this evening is my brother who resides in Atlanta, as well as my father, but I know that he is here in spirit and watching over us. My husband and I both grew up in an environment that encouraged volunteering and being a part of the community. This we have instilled in our sons and continue as a family to serve the community. Many of you already know who I am. But for those of you who don't in the community, please allow me to share a brief with you. We moved to Bolingbrook in 2003. Like you, we had many options. But we saw in Bolingbrook the diversity, the schools, the parks. We fell in love with it and decided to make it our home and raise our family. As my sons grew a little bit older, I sought out the opportunity to volunteer in our community. First, it started with being a member of our homeowners association, then president. And my sons went to school. Then came PTA president of the elementary school, followed by PTA president of the middle school, of the Plainfield Middle School Band Boosters, executive member of the Bolingbrook Soccer Club. Yes, we are a soccer family, all three Basta boys. Park District referendum, and it led to being a volunteer for the village and going for the seat of trustee, and now here I am. I'm proud of Bolingbrook and how far it has come in the past 54 years. We have a young, welcoming, and diverse community that attracts both businesses and residents. I will continue the growth and celebration of our diversity and invite you, the residents, to join me. I will carry out the role of full-time mayor, but will be accepting the part-time salary that was approved at Tuesday's board meeting. As we look
I'm sorry, that's great.
As we look towards the future and the April election, I will always do what's in the best interest of Bolingbrook and evaluate any future candidacy for this office. Again, thank you for your support. God bless America, Bolingbrook, and all of us. Thank you. Oh, now I get it.
Want help? I got it. I know, I get it, because I'm claiming it as mine.
With that, I ask, are there any questions from the audience or press?
Hi, I'm Liz Campbell, resident of Bolingbrook for over some 37 years. And greetings to our new mayor, a lady, of course, I like that and everything. But, you know, always, well, you know, I never know. You know, I ran for mayor in 1997. Some of you guys didn't know that. And we had a good debate at that time, too. We gave each other high fives and everything else. I even went to one of his fundraisers. I paid a whole $5 to go there. Yeah, right at St. Dominic. Some of you guys remember, you old people like me. You know?
Spaghetti Western.
All right, that's right, you remember.
Yeah.
But I do just have a question to this board. I thank you, like I say, most of all, you know, for having a lady mayor, you know, but I do have questions on that, the idea of that you guys saw something, but I'm just a little concerned is that this is the last member to be elected to this board. So if you could just share just a little insights as why you, Deputy Mayor Lawyer, that you nominated her. So I would just like that, and I'm sure, you know, I'm just one of them vocal people who ask the questions, and I bet some of you guys are still out there have that same question, and you just wasn't bold enough to come and ask it. So I just want to hit the ground running, and because we got a lot of more work, like she said. Thank you, Mayor Claire, for everything, and my sister Pat and Lindsay, we're praying for you guys, and Trevor and baby Samantha to make it home safely, but there are some big shoes to fill. We do realize that, and we know that we're going to have to come together as, you know, as a team, as a village, a true village. And so I just want that question answered for me, and I'm sure other people also.
Well, if I may, as the most senior trustee, in '97, that was my first election. I was appointed in '95, and thank you for coming to the fundraiser. And it was a lot of fun. You know, over the years, we've looked for leadership. The fascinating part about this community is that we have had a solid record of people who have stepped up to the village board activities, not really ever seeking office. They came to this community to serve, and all of us have a record of serving first and never really asking to be a trustee or you know, certainly maybe aspiring to leadership in the community, but we all were involved in some way, in many ways, before we came into this position as trustee. And that speaks to the spirit of the community. Each one of us has unique backgrounds, different professional backgrounds, different interests, and different ways that we're serving Bolingbrook. So when we looked at, I'd be shocked if not every one of us was suggested by someone to be mayor. If you read anything out there, I think all the names are thrown out. And if you weren't, you've got my recommendation. So, but I've seen a few names suggested. So I think in this deliberation, this is a very serious deliberation about where we're going in the future. And there have been some things put in place. This is a huge transition, and thankfully, we've had some very thoughtful decisions about how to move forward. And the biggest risk is losing the expertise of Mayor Claire, Attorney Jim Bowen, who really knew the ins and outs, but we're fortunate in the fact that co-administrators who were appointed the other night, Lucas Rickelman, Ken Teppel, have a very deep knowledge of village operations. So any one of us could have been chosen from this group, and I think what we want is someone who is going to be a cheerleader for Bolingbrook, or someone who works in a positive manner for the betterment of Bolingbrook, somebody who is looking towards the future to keep this successful and is willing to work with others. Not all of us are to some degree all willing to do that. In looking at all the options of there's several different considerations, I like the potential for Mary Alexander Basta because of her background in business, her background in involvement in the community. But that resume, again, as I said, there's a lot of different people, or all of us have that as part of our resume or portfolio. So I think the decision came down to, in my mind, the best option possible at this time. And we'll see what happens in the future, but I'm proud of each and every one of us who are on this board, and looking forward to the future. It's certainly not an easy decision, and as we look at the future, each one of us has individual demands, professional demands, family demands, and so we are going to have to continue working together. I hope that helps explain it, Ms. Campbell. No.
Mike, or Bert, can I add to that, please? I've been asked that same question, and I appreciate you asking it here tonight a lot. The community brought each of us to this dais, and we were each probably brought here for slightly different reasons, but at the core should be our ability to serve, to selflessly serve, and to always look out for you out there in our business community. So when we had to evaluate this, everyone has said this tonight, probably anyone here tonight, maybe even Bob, could have could have potentially been nominated tonight. But I had to think about a lot of things. And I think about an amazing family that Acting Mayor Basta has, and what that brings, and growing up in a community, serving the community through many volunteer opportunities. But also what Deputy Mayor Lawler suggested is this was not something that was, what word do I use? This was not something that was asked of us. This was not something that she said, I must do this. This is something that came to her through us, obviously, because obviously we had a vote on this tonight. But that means a lot. Now, politics is changing, and I hate that word. Mary does a great job of saying that we are serving this community. But I will tell you, the world is a different place. And I, more than anyone in this room, appreciate everything that a 34-year mayor has done for this community. And I will never take that away from this man, but I will tell you the world is a different place, and I think he would agree. And Mary brings something different. She brings energy, she brings enthusiasm, and she thinks outside of the box. Of course, I'm sure Mayor Claire walked in this morning and said he has a new idea, but after 34 years, maybe today wasn't the day to do it. Something really exciting that Mary has the opportunity to do, obviously in her acting role, is to act upon those. So I was elected to the board with Mary. I saw some great things then, and I'm thrilled, and that was the reason why I also voted this evening. So I just wanted to say that tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Any other trustee comments?
I also would like to say something. I'd like to congratulate Mary and her family. Mary is a go-getter. She sees something and she goes for it. We all know that about Mary. She's like a little bee. She's everywhere. And she, you know, the most important thing I would say to Mary to take with her is always remember the constituents. Our constituents are our main people that we want to help. It's not all of this. We make decisions, yes we do, but we have to come together. Some may agree to disagree, but I believe we made the right choice, and we don't know what the future leads. As Mike said, this world is evolving. To Mayor Claire and Pat, I just want to wish you all the best of luck. And when you're in your swimming pool and you're taking in the nice sun, you say, I don't have to go to work today. I could just sit here and just have a good time. We're going to miss you. Pat, you have done so much for our youth with H2O, you and Lindsay. And I'm proud to sit on that board. And I just want to say, Pat, you deserve more than a standing ovation because you and your husband have a heart to help people. And some people just forget that. They think that he is just sitting in his office and making deals. And no, that's not what it is. This man, and women have put their heart and their soul into it. And Pat, I have a gift for you if you'd like to come up to the...
Did you get any sauce?
This is for you. And to you, Mary, congratulations. Welcome to the team. I know you're not going to disappoint us. Thank you.
If I may, while I've been sitting here, I've been getting some text messages from people I know. So I thought I would, some people may have some questions. Last Tuesday was my 25th anniversary of serving as village trustee. And I have been, in my career, I've been in the service industry since I was 15 years old. And early on, I was allowed to work 80 hours a week for $20 a week, something like that. $1 an hour, $2 an hour. And so there was a lot of demands early on. When we moved to Bolingbrook, my hours got less demanding. But as I moved out of the hotel management industry into IT and IT consulting. And for those of you who don't understand that world, it's a fascinating lifestyle. I know someone that I'm looking at right now who really enjoys traveling all the time. My situation before COVID was what I thought was going to be a very standard, simple schedule of a short commute, but it has changed since that time. And so when I was looking at all the considerations of how to carry forward for the future in the best interest of Bolingbrook, and the uncertainty that we are all experiencing, and the possibility of having to be out of town, I didn't want to have to put my name in the hat for a situation where I may not be able to deliver. So I hope that answers questions of those who've been texting, and for anyone else who may have wanted to ask that question later tonight but didn't want to come up to the podium. So I want to leave it there, but the most important thing is that we will continue to work together, and we have a lot of good things yet to come, and we certainly want to make things better and support Mary. So that's my comments.
Thank you. Are there any other trustee comments or reports?
Well, I'd just like to say, Mary, definitely look forward to working with you, and wish you all the best. And ultimately, I wish Bolingbrook all the best, right?
Right.
And I appreciate the fact that as a board, in any preliminary discussions that we had, we said that no matter what the outcome was this evening, that we would all work together, because ultimately we love Bolingbrook and we want what's best for Bolingbrook. So during this interim period, we will live up to that in working together, because ultimately we as a board, including Bob,
I am on the board.
that usually gets a couple of chuckles, so I couldn't resist. But yeah, ultimately, all the best, and we will proceed as a community and continue to make Bolingbrook a great place to live, work, play, shop, and raise a family like I'm doing here. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the trustees?
Congratulations.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Did we-
Second?
Wait a minute, excuse me, did we get all the comments from the audience? I don't know if there was anyone else that wanted to say
Yeah,
anything.
Over here.
Sorry, come on up.
My name is James Gaston, Bolingbrook Elite Basketball. I just got a question about the part-time. That's official, right?
That was past Tuesday.
So who's voting for the part-time?
It's already been voted on.
No, I'm talking about who's voting to vote the part-time person in. Who's putting that person in?
I can't. So, at the last board meeting, the board adopted a ordinance. The board adopted an ordinance calling for a part-time mayor.
Okay.
So that's who voted it, the board.
So that's going to be voting for the part-time mayor?
No.
Them.
No, but in April, the residents will vote for the mayor, who is going to become part-time.
Right,
Okay.
right.
It'll be a regular election.
That's
Right.
all I got. Thank you.
Oh, another question, Mary. You can't see him.
Good evening. My name is Gur Singh, and I am a resident from last 17 years, and we have 12 families, first kin, so to say, who are resident of Bolingbrook. What attracted us here was the steady growth of this town under the very able kind of leadership and the drive Mayor Clark had. I'm from Sikh community. When we came in, we decided to have our own church. Of course, we don't have yet. But his office was welcoming and almost kind of said, guy, do what you want to do, but do legally. And I'm thankful. And I hope the spirit, what Mayor Clark has put in this community will continue and will grow. And you know, as far as Mary Basta is concerned, 3-4 times I had some problems, not having problems, but I did some help. Whenever I called, I was surprised, and she was right there, and she never hesitated, she never delayed, like, okay, I'll do 2 days down the line, 3 days. No, the problem was taken care of. So we have a great mayor, and one thing I could say to all of you guys, we should have something to remember Mayor Clark. It's very easy to forget where we are today, but remember where we came from. And what he did and where he brought us from. This is called leadership. Leaders commit mistakes, yes, but they lead too. And you've got great leadership, and I don't know many other towns in this area can claim that. So I'll request you guys, please try to create something which could be everlasting, remembering Mayor Clark. And Mary Basta, thank you very much and congratulations.
Is there anyone else? Mike?
This is for Roger Clare. Hi, I'm Mike Martin. I'm a resident of Bolingbrook for 34 years. And back in 2011, I want to thank Roger for helping me get into McKinsey Falls back in 2011. It's August 1st, it'll be 9 years since I've been there. And I thank him for helping me get in there, get from the bottom of the list to the top of the list in 2011. Thank you, Roger.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Norman, longtime resident of Bolingbrook. And Roger, I just want to say congratulations, and I hope you enjoy retirement as much as you did running or serving as mayor of Bolingbrook. Congratulations.
One second. Real shortly, my name's Terrence Zarati. I've lived here for 27 years and raised my family here, 3 boys, my wife and I. And I have to share a message to Roger. My son Terrence Jr., who is married and has his own family now, wanted to express his appreciation for having a great place to grow up. Thank you, Roger. That's from my son.
I moved into Bolingbrook in 1971. And I know what it was. 6,000 people, everything was farmland. And when we started the elections, Roger came to my house, knocking door, going door to door. And I invited him to come inside. And we had a chit-chat. I'm very much familiar with the politics. I was working at city for 30 years. So I know in and out of politics. But what Roger has done to Bolingbrook, I don't think anybody else could have done it. Now, he was dedicated to work for the village, and we all are benefiting from that. Earlier time, if you tell anyone, where you living? Bolingbrook. Bolingbrook, never heard of it. Now you go and talk to anyone, they know where the Bolingbrook is. It's all goes to mayor's efforts. The other thing about Roger is he got all the communities together. He went to China, visited China with a delegation. He went to India, he went to Philippines. So he's been to Pakistan. So he's been all over to see his citizens of this village, and he has personally gone and realized what these people are who are benefiting in the village he has created. I want to thank you, Roger, what you have done, and we are all benefiting from that. Thank you, Roger. And good luck in your retirement. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Talat Rashid. I'm the resident of the Bolingbrook since 1986. When I chose this town, I was told my peers, even my boss, don't go to the Bolingbrook. That's the place you will regret. He was living in Lisle. He says, I don't even cross the Lisle border to go to Bolingbrook. But I took a chance and I moved into Bolingbrook. In 1991, I decided to move out of here to another village or another town. But when I saw the growth, I saw diversity, I saw everything that was going positive in the city of the Bolingbrook, I decided to stay in here. I represent Muslim community, I represent Pakistani community, and we were proud to have mayor as our leader. Mayor, we got first mosque in Bolingbrook. I don't know whether a lot of the residents know or not. We were rejected from all other communities. This man stood up and he says, I will say yes, and come on, and when are you going to build it? I thought it's not going to happen. Then came to the second mosque. Again, there was problems. But Roger was there to approve it, and we have Furqan Academy, that Muslim Islamic Center. They went several places, and nobody said yes. But I told them, come to Bolingbrook. This is a diverse community, and the mayor is very helpful, not just to us, but every other community. And I'm pretty sure he will not say no. Then we raised Pakistani flag, and I was sure 99% he will say no, because at that time, it was 91, that I took a risk. I said, I'll ask him, at the most he will say no. But to my surprise, he said, when are you going to do it? He didn't say that I would like to, have you raise the flag. He said, when are you going to do it? Even our ambassador called me when he saw the first time a flag raising on the city hall, not in a park, in a city hall. And I got a call from our ambassador in in the Washington, and he said, this mayor is great. Since then, I think we are the only community that all the ambassadors that came to Washington, they came first here to meet Roger Clare, and he is in the news even in Pakistan. Every ambassador that comes in, he knows about Roger. Not just his name, his work, his diversity, his community, and the way he got the Bolingbrook from zero to hero. And we are very proud of the resident of the Bolingbrook. My kid grew up in here. I grew up in here almost for 32 years, 34 years, whatever the time frame was. And I'm very happy, and I will miss you, Roger, but I have always seek his guidance. I mean, it was not easy sometimes. I have woken up at sometimes in 3 in the morning because of our Eid prayers, because we depend on moon, most of the people you know. And sometimes the moon comes in the middle of the night. I don't know how. So at 12, I'll tell him, Roger, there's no Eid tomorrow. And then at 2 or 3 in the morning, I text him, Roger, there's an Eid tomorrow. And Roger will respond right back. This is the only man I have been told several times that he puts his cell phone on the card. Most of the people don't. So that tells you the diversity that he has, that he appreciates the residents' phone calls, and he is there to help them out. But anyway, Roger, we'll miss you. Thank you very much, and I appreciate what you have done for this the community, and this legacy will stay here. And again, I congratulate Mary Basta. I was with her in Planning and Commission Board for a few years. Now I serve on Police and Fire Board. But thank you very much. And again, I hope we will continue this tradition of growing this company. Thank you.
Congratulations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Jerry Hicks. I'm a commissioner on the Bolingbrook Park District, and with me is Ron Ostrike. Mayor Claire, thanks. Thanks for the $20 bill that you gave me as a campaign contribution the first time I ran. You were the first, and in that session, the only one. Always appreciated. But I cannot say thank you enough for you, your family, your staff, the board, the cooperation we've had between the Park District and the village for the 37 years I've been on the board. It has been outstanding. It's the reason we have what we have. For those of you not familiar, there's a land cash donation ordinance. When a builder comes into town, thanks to Mayor Claire and his team, they have to donate land or cash to the Park District. That's how we've acquired the property that we own, over 1,000 acres, for your benefit. Without you, that never would have happened. Thanks.
Mayor Claire, I've been in this role for 9 years. In these 9 years, you have been gracious, you have been welcoming, and you have been a wonderful teacher and mentor, and someone I will always just carry deep in my heart. Thank you for all that you do for our village, our Park District. You have run a wonderful team at this village, and we are proud to work with you as a Park District and a village. Mayor Mary. Congratulations.
Thank
you. You and I have done a lot of great things together, and I just welcome you in your new leadership role and say whatever you need, you have from the Park District and Village Board. Your marching orders are to carry on and do great things. So congratulations to all of you, and congratulations, Mayor. Enjoy your retirement.
Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Trustee Jaskowitz, second by Trustee Zarate. Roll call, please.
Oh.
Voice vote.
Voice vote. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Most definitely, yes, ma'am.